And we're back. Okay, this is actually now I've switched back to my original save. As you can see, I'm not entirely happy. I actually prefer my other save with the way I've spec'd him out, but you know, it's fine. I'll sort it out as we go along. I'll get him up to speed anyway. They were very, very close actually. There was about 500 XP in it, so I still have that save anyway, so I can go back and show you bits and bobs that I might have missed originally. So you know, I'll sort of play two parallel games, one for me, one for you guys. Maybe we'll see. So it's just deciding now where to go next. We can either go to Pharos or we can go to Noveria. You know, it's just Geth in general. I don't know. I think I'll probably choose Noveria, I think, and then Pharos. Might just talk to some crew members as we do. No, going the wrong way. I'm always getting lost in this damn place. Alright, Presley.
Yes,
hey, dude.
Commander.
I think we've already talked to you, but
Speak
okay.
freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
I trust you, Commander. If you think they belong here, then so do I.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps.
I've already seen all this, haven't we?
My first posting was on the Azure.
Kind of
we
sounds
were one of
familiar.
the first reinforcements to arrive at Of course, the
Anyway.
only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right
Carry on,
people.
Presley.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if there's any like new stuff from people. Joker douche face.
Commander, something you need?
Yeah.
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said?
No, already. Go
The Normandy's
away.
probably too much ship for
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
It's gonna be a bit of me running around for a while. Sorry, guys. I hate this chair. It squeaks so much. I'm actually sat on like a step stool thing, and it's not a very good chair. My setup is a bit like my room is completely jumbled up right now because we've not long moved house, and yeah, stuff's just everywhere. I'm just living out of boxes right now, so I still need to sort my room out so I can actually record in there properly. I have a better laptop now, and I've got fiber optic as well, which is awesome. So, you know, I'll be able to do that, upload stuff a lot faster now, regardless of size. So, hello, Caden. What you doing? See, I'm awesome. I'm much better looking than you.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll
Oh,
have time for
shut
personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni. Seems like a sweet girl. Easy on the eyes. I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
Oh yeah.
Just remember, Lieutenant, I saw her first.
Only by a few seconds, sir.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Oh yay, more stuff. More shit stuff. Great. Thanks. Ugh. Let's go and see friends in the elevator. Ugh. See, the only thing that, like, I don't want to come down here because I now have to sit through this damn elevator ride. This is a really annoying thing. And yet, of course, Rex is down here and Ashley, and, well, she sucks. But, you know, you get the idea. Plus, the requisitions officer. So, it's kind of necessary to come down here, but I hate it because you literally just sat here for about 5 years. Ugh. There we go. Oh, hello, Rex.
Shepard.
Shepard. Rex.
people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Oh, every time I hear that, I just cannot help but laugh. It's just so sorry every time I am actually gonna laugh, so I apologize now. Oh, hello,
Commander?
Binty.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
What's your opinion
Piss
on the
off.
last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
She gives him really creepy looks. You know, I mean, I know Liara does too, but geez. It's like a little too obvious. Hello, Garrus.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
Not all Spectres are like Saren, you know.
Of course not. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, CSEC's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks.
Damn right you will, Garrus. Did we ever meet Garrus's father? Just out of interest? I don't know if you meet him in this game, because I don't recall him being in 2 or 3. So if anyone knows the answer to that, then let me know. Mr. Alliance Dude, what you got?
You bet, Commander.
More rubbish. Stuff that I can't afford because I've got fuck all money. Woohoo. Oh. Yeah, basically. Great, thanks. Let's go and see what Tali's up to. And Engineer Adams.
Something I can do for you, Commander.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Great. Hello, Tali.
Hey, Shepard. You need something?
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exiles searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
It's hard to feel sorry for you. Your ancestors tried to wipe out another species.
We made a mistake when we created the Geth in the first place, but we did not make a mistake when we went to war against them. If we had not acted, they would have wiped us out. They're a synthetic life form. They have no use for organics. None. Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy? Why do you think they've killed every organic being who's ever tried to contact them?
They didn't kill Saren.
What does that tell you? The Geth are not innocent victims in all this. They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians. All organic life. That's why they've joined up with Saren. And that's why we have to stop him.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. it increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
That line is brilliant. I wonder if I could talk about something else. I should go. Oh. Mass Effect, you do make me laugh sometimes. Oh, let's go to this elevator. Yeah, so sorry, this one's sort of a filler episode. Oh my god, my phone is ringing. Ugh, sorry about that. I had to mute the mic temporarily. Seriously, this is the problem when you're not recording in a studio. You get different sounds and background noise and stuff. I need my own studio in my house. It'd be so much better. Okay, where does Liara live? I can't actually remember where she lives now. There's nothing up there. Oh, here we go. Hey, yo.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on it?
Oh, I've already done
Because
this.
humanity needs the Alliance if we want
How
to...
well do you know the route?
Tends to keep to himself.
I should go.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Commander.
Here she is, I think. Yes. Hello.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander. I get the feeling you...
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Dude, sorry.
I get the feeling you want to ask
Tell me
something.
about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers, but I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau, I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
All children rebel against their parents. It's a natural part of growing up.
Aha, you share the wisdom of the matriarch, Shepard. That is exactly what Benezia said when I told her of my decision. But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to the past. The Protheans were these wondrous, mysterious figures. I wanted to know everything about them. That is why I find you so fascinating. You were marked by the beacon on Eden Prime. You were touched by working Prothean technology.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No! I did not mean to insinuate. I never meant to offend you, Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
I love that conversation. It's one of the best that you have with Liara. You know, I wonder in the new Mass Effect game, because there is going to be a new one, because I've already announced it, if Liara is going to be a matriarch. You know, if it's going to be set in the future, it'd be interesting, sort of like set maybe 500 years in the future or something, and then Liara's there. Okay, I'm a matriarch now because I'm awesome. Although I think really it should be what, like 618, something like that. So she'd probably still be in the matron stage. So, I don't know. Okay, let's get to Noveria, and then I'm gonna end it after we've arrived there. Because, yeah, there's gonna be a few episodes where they're just sort of talk. I mean, if you want to skip ahead to the next more sort of action bit, then I'll mark it on the YouTube and explain. I'll try and put descriptions up so you know what's in each episode. So if you want to skip ahead, that's cool. If you want to see me tackle amusing things, me failing miserably whilst I play this game. Okay, Noveria. Hello. Let's go to PAX. Why they must have these cutscenes? Yes, it's pretty watching the Normandy just, you know, flying away. I mean, I guess you get a sense of what the planet looks like that you've just landed on, but you know, I'm kind of glad they took that out because it's not really necessary. Guess it works as a loading screen, right? Hello, Noveria. Travel. Okay, it's pretty cold. Let's go. I have a vague idea of what happens here. I mean, you know, I've said before that I obviously know this story, but all the little details, not as much. That's part of the fun playing this. I knew I'd get round to it eventually, like 6 months later, but, you know, life just gets in the way, as it always seems to do when you've got things to do.
Approach control. This is the SSV Normandy, requesting a vector into berth.
Normandy, your arrival was not scheduled. Our defense grid is armed and tracking you. State your business.
Citadel business. We got a Council Spectre aboard.
Landing access granted, Normandy. Be advised, we will be confirming identification on arrival. If confirmation cannot be established, your vessel will be impounded.
What a fun bunch. I think I'll take my next leave here.
Yes, indeed. They do sound quite fun, don't they? Or not? Yeesh. Okay. It's funny. I think the first time I filmed this, I actually couldn't remember how to get off the damn ship. Like, you know, go to the airlock. So I was running around everywhere just going, don't know where I'm going. But if I remember rightly, yes, you've got to go here. So you guys know, if anyone can't get off the Normandy, this is where you go. You go towards Joker and through the airlock. Right, let's choose my squad. So Liara and Kaden. This will be my team. Just uber biotic squad. For probably the rest, well, most of the game, until I've got Kaden's trophy anyway. And then, well, I don't know, we'll see. So, once we've arrived and done the whole cutscene and stuff, then,
interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged.
Yeah.
The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Yeah. Right. Oh, hello, Mr. Scanner thing. So, it seems like a fun mission, this one, I think. So, yeah. Let's go talk to these guys and then... It's nearly 35 minutes. Okay.
That's far enough.
We're not here to cause problems.
This is an unscheduled arrival. I need your credentials.
You first.
We're the law here. Show some respect.
I'm Captain Maiko Matsuo, Ilanis Risk Control Services.
I'm a Spectre. My name is Shepard.
Load of horse crap, ma'am.
We will need to confirm that. Also, I must advise you that firearms are not permitted on Noveria. Sergeant Sterling, secure their weapons.
We gonna let them do this, Commander?
Stand down. Their house, their rules.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Captain Matsuo, stand down. We confirmed their identity. Spectres are authorized to carry weapons here, Captain.
You may proceed, Spectre. I hope the rest of your visit will be less confrontational. Parasini-san will meet you upstairs.
Behave yourself.
Yara doesn't like cold weather. Me either.
Get out of here.
Well, she's a nice lady, isn't she?
I'm sure Parasini-san will answer any questions you have.
Alright, okay, I'm gonna end it here now, so, okay. As always, guys, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate the continued support, and I really hope that I'll be able to do more videos. I am gonna carry on with, I'm gonna do a Fuse lethal run. I might do it with one of my friends, see if we can ever find time to play at the moment, and I'll still carry on with this as usual. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do the whole trilogy. I want to do insanity runs of 2 and 3 with no powers. Could be interesting. Okay, so as always, guys, thank you for watching, and this is Cloud19 out.